welcome to, I believe, episode 10 of Vibration Translation Podcast, Mystical Translation Series. Alright, today we're going to be talking about doing some self-inquiry together about egoic desire and are egoic desires controlling you, and in what ways do they show up in your life? I'm going to talk about patterns I see that are prominent and have been very prominent within my own being, and also reflected externally within mainstream society. Because right now, as we're living in the digital age, right now as we're living in this world, I mean, I'm in America, but this message is pretty much everywhere. If you don't have certain things, and if you don't fit this image in one way or another of what success is and what qualifies you as an important person, then you're nothing. Do you have something in your mind that you use to compare yourself to others constantly? Maybe a quality. Maybe you believe you are the most attractive person in the room. Maybe you believe you are the most genius person in the room, most socially intelligent person in the room. Maybe there's whatever quality it is about you that you believe you're best at, better than anybody else. Is there something like that about yourself? Now, in some sense, you may be true with that. You may be right, This is a quality that is a unique gift of yours that you can bring to the table. And perhaps you may even call yourself gifted, which is fine also. No problems of any of these. But the truth is, all of us, everybody is gifted. And everybody is special. Everybody. Oh, so therefore, nobody's actually special. Like, we're all special, but nobody's specialer than special, None of us are special at the same time, and there's this paradox here. I believe we're living in an age of artificial communication, chasing importance. And the chasing of importance and status and fame and so many likes and so many followers and attuning your personality and your means of expression to achieving the goal of appearances, of a certain appearance that will therefore bring in people towards you, that will capture other people's attention. So then you can look and be like, oh, look, I'm important. I have this many likes, this many followers. This person of status has talked to me. I talk to them. I'm close to them. I'm close to this person of status. I'm la-di-da-di-da. Oh, I have this attractive partner. Look at me. Look what I achieved. I have this position at work. Look what I achieved. Yeah. I feel like that's the kind of tango we're living in right now. But really underneath all of that is, I want to belong and I want to be loved. And can't you see me? Can't you see me? But there's many examples of this out there. But if you live your whole life chasing egoic desires of these appearances, these illusions, you'll be missing out on the greatest gift of all, which is right here, which is the things that actually matter to you, which is the true expression of yourself, which is the feeling of being fully engaged as yourself within this life. Such joy and delight in being able to dance and really participate in this life. Authentically, truly, and surrendered to yourself. I see on the spiritual search and during spiritual awakenings, maybe after ayahuasca ceremonies, there can be a tendency to be like, I am God. I am the most powerful. I am the all-powerful. I have so much power. And then to internalize that power as something belonging to your personality. And then internalize those gifts that you do have, as something that you use to then attach to an idea of importance about yourself. And there is this paradoxical nature to all of this, because I believe it is really important to recognize yourself, to recognize the gift of you, the worth of you. And I speak about this, right? I speak about this quite a lot. But at the same time, if we don't see that this personality, this body of ours belongs to the one, to the universe, to the God, to the one consciousness, we become then lost in the personality, in the human being that we are not. It is an experience of our consciousness to be this human being, but this body, this appearance, this personality, it's all something to be used, something to be played around with. So it really is quite cool that we get to operate these bodies. And the ego and the personality has its use and its purpose. But the whole trap of it is to remain identified as, this is me, this is who I am, and so therefore I must be in survival mode and protect myself. And make myself out to belong by earning this status and earning this recognition, and by being this way that is recognized in society. For example, that having that large following, that creates some kind of status for you. And there's nothing wrong with having a large following. But it is, what are your intentions behind your actions, right? Because you can keep yourself stuck in a loop and in a loop, rather than actually letting source of you flow through you by virtue of your authenticity. From where are your actions and behaviors coming from? Because if you see within yourself a supreme being, then there is a supreme being within every other person you meet. And it's like the thing, if you judge yourself, like an aspect of you, like you don't like your wrinkles. Now you're going to look at everybody's wrinkles and judge their skin for being wrinkly, or look at the skin that's not wrinkly and consider it better than. Or if you see within yourself this supreme divinity, then you will be able to see within others this supreme divinity. But, that point of really integrated oneness, I'm not there yet. But also I can fall back out of the thought of I'm not there yet and feel it much closer. But just to state it as something objective, I'm not in this integrated state of bliss and oneness. But really, this is what I call the interaction space, is really I want the truth, and I want to be able to see you and see me honestly. And part of that, and part of really seeing and being the truth, is speaking your authenticity. And it doesn't have to look any sort of way. There's no shoulds or should not about what you should be or shouldn't be. Nobody ever existed like you, right? I've said this before. From this place of artificial communication, you have a choice to not follow the trends of being artificial in the way you communicate and how you're supposed to be. And there's going to be quirks about you, things you hide, because that's not within the span of what the artificial communication promotes right now. I've said this in my authenticity video. It's what's alive right now. It's what's true right now. Doesn't matter if it feels good or bad, it means coming up. So here it is. Here's the honesty. And really when we get to it in the realms of oneness, there is no hierarchy. There is no I'm better than you because I have more followers and you don't have any, or I'm worse than you because you have more and all of a sudden we're in different statuses. No, that doesn't exist. We're all here together. It's the same unchanging awareness expressing itself in different forms. And what I want for myself is what I want for others. To feel free in the expression of my own form. I want others to feel free in the true expression of their own form, and to no longer spend their life chasing egoic desires that do not bring fulfillment. I want to be raw and honest, And I know I'm not there yet, there's some kind of facade of separation that I'm in the process of surrendering. And, there's the identification of these matrix desires. For example, the impulse to check how many views your video or your Instagram post got, and what kind of comments, and how are people responding, or what do people have to say about you in your social circle, or your performance, or your artwork, or how successful are you? What kind of job do you have? Beyond chasing those things and those accomplishments and the proving of oneself to be important and to be somebody in this world, that's the identification of this is the egoic desire. Now what's beyond that? Now when you remove that, what is left? What is left? Take the example of me being a YouTuber or a podcaster or whatnot. Beyond a desire to have, say, more followers or more engagement, what's underneath that, right? That's a question for me. You can apply it in something in your life that you're usually striving for, striving to be as, striving to hold a certain appearance, a certain proof in the world of your worth and of your importance, of your status, of your belongingness. What's beyond all of that? Because my desire is to be free in being as I like to be. Also, it's beyond the desire of wanting to control other people, or there's this like greediness of I want to own this, or I want to own this person, or this consumption of, or the showing off of. It's one thing to be proud of oneself, but it's another thing to have this pride. Because ultimately, all of those egoic desires of importance, of appearance, lead to further suffering because of the further separation that they invoke. Oh, look, I'm so much better. I'm so much more superior. But then look at you, you're going to be all alone on that mountaintop. That's not really fun now, is it? I'll tell you that as somebody that I'm pretty much like, if I'm going to be using labels on myself, like a hermit for a lot of my life. I just like to spend my time alone, and like I don't really go to like the traditional parties. I don't have anything against them. I just don't really go to them. Or the traditional, social gatherings. Like sometimes I do, but not a lot. Just the normal things people like to engage in. Usually I don't really, that wasn't my interest. And so end up being alone a lot of the time. And as I went into this, spiritual awakening, journey process, whatever you call it, that was a special time because it was important for me as somebody that had no sense of identity or self-worth at all, to go into myself and really self-recognize myself and protect the really vulnerable parts of me that were just beginning to be discovered and loved. But at the same time, to then come into it's not just me, it's not just me at all. This entire YouTube channel, podcast, Vibration Translation is about just letting it go, letting it go and connecting, and through the connection, really more truly recognizing myself through another, and also through the sharing of myself, and through, being on YouTube can bring up so many things. And so pretty much everything I talk about is right from my personal experience. And so on this spiritual awakening journey, you can have this, sense of specialness, right? Like I've spoken about, and self-importance, and I am the one, I am the chosen one. And that creates even more pain, even more separation. And because you are the chosen one, you are the one, but so am I. Right? It's a really funny thing. It's a really funny thing. But truly this comes down to you're not alone in anything at all. You're not alone in anything at all. And there's this beautiful balance that can emerge, that I'm walking in. I'm doing my best to choose to walk in, right? Of embracing my knowingness and my gifts, or whatever you want to call them. My knowingness, my really everything that emerges just from my center of awareness, being my anchor, being strong in this, and also be able to set boundaries, and at the same time be open to really listening and really seeing that same divinity within myself, within another, And this has been my walk out of the illusion of separation and self-importance and feeling superior to or better than others. Because in truth, nobody is. Nobody is. We have our strengths and weaknesses given to us by this human form and personality. But how can one be better than another when it is the same one? See that all of us here are just chasing the betterness, one level or another. Because there's still some part of us then that feels terribly insecure about our worth. Terribly ungrounded within who we actually are. We're just the one awareness, the one consciousness. And from that, the beautiful emanation of you comes out of you. But it's from that. And so when you're trying to manifest things, well, let's remove the word trying first of all, but if a desire comes up that makes you want to imagine yourself as, makes you feel better, because now you have this partner that you can show off, or now you have this status, or now you have this following, or now you have this appearance. is going to be the key to identifying the egoic desire. It's going to ultimately help you meet your void and your emptiness and your nothingness that can be your access point to this eternity of what you actually are. Bless y'all, all right? If you want a light language meditation from me, check down below on my website, vibrationtranslation.com. I'll see you another time, okay? Bye.